I'm 26, and the thing that scares me the most isn't losing my job or my marriage or even the life I've built. It's becoming someone I swore I would never be. Because once you hear it, once you recognize it, you can't pretend it isn't there anymore. Growing up, my house was loud in the worst way. Not laughter, not music, arguments. Every night, it felt like my dad would come home, and you could tell within seconds what kind of night it was going to be. The way he shut the door, the way he moved, the way my mom's voice would change before he even said anything. I remember lying in bed as a kid, listening, not because I wanted to, because I couldn't not listen. You don't fall asleep when you're waiting for the next thing to break. He yelled a lot at her, at the world, at anything that didn't go exactly the way he thought it should. And the worst part wasn't even the volume, it was how normal it became, how quickly you learn to adjust to something you should never have to adjust to. When I got older, I made myself a promise, simple, clear, non negotiable. I would never be him. I wouldn't drink like him. I wouldn't speak like him. I wouldn't make someone feel small the way he did. And for most of my life, I kept that promise, or at least I thought I did. Then I met her, Emma. She was 24 when we got married. I was 26. She's the kind of person people don't believe exists until they meet her. Kind, patient, soft in a way that isn't weak. The type of person who notices when something is wrong before you even say it. The type of person who tries to help even when you don't deserve it. And for a long time, I was the man I wanted to be with her. Calm, supportive, present. We had a good life, not perfect, but good, which is why what happened later is so hard for me to accept. Because there wasn't one big moment where everything broke. It was smaller, faster, and way easier than I thought it would be. The first time it happened, I tried to write it off. I was fixing something in the garage. She was holding a flashlight for me. Something slipped, and I ended up cutting my hand open pretty badly. There was blood everywhere. She panicked. She hates blood, but she still tried to help. And in the middle of that chaos, when she touched my hand and it hurt like hell, I snapped. I yelled at her, loud, sharp, aggressive. I told her to get away from me. I slammed the door and I left. The moment I got into the car, I knew that wasn't just frustration. That was something else, something familiar, something I had spent my entire life trying to bury. At the hospital, I couldn't even look at my phone. When I finally told her to come, I still couldn't look at her when she got there. She tried to apologize to me for something that wasn't her fault, and that made it worse because now I wasn't just angry, I was ashamed. The next day, I told her everything, that what I did was wrong, that it wasn't okay, that I needed to fix it. And I meant it. I started therapy that same week. I thought that was enough, that recognizing it meant I could control it. I was wrong. 2 weeks later, we were in the car. She made a small mistake while driving, nothing serious. But in that moment, my body reacted before my brain did. I yelled, again, louder this time. I said things I shouldn't have said, things that sounded exactly like something I had heard growing up. And the second it came out of my mouth, I felt it, that shift, that drop in my stomach, that realization that I wasn't just reacting anymore. I was repeating. She forgave me again. Too easily. That's the problem. She's too forgiving, too understanding, too willing to believe that I'll fix things, even when I keep showing her reasons not to. The worst moment came a few weeks after that. Work had been brutal. I had to fire someone on my team, a good person, someone with a family. And I had to sit there and tell him he no longer had a job. I carried that home with me. I didn't want to talk, didn't want to be touched, didn't want anything. She came into the room anyway. because that's who she is. She tried to comfort me. And instead of seeing that for what it was, I pushed her away hard, verbally. I told her to leave me alone, told her I couldn't deal with her. And the way her face changed in that moment, that's the part I can't forget because it wasn't just hurt, it was recognition. Like she suddenly understood something about me that she hadn't seen clearly before. And I hated that because I understood it too. I didn't stay that night. I went to my mom's place and I sat there in the same house I grew up in, thinking about how I had spent years trying to escape something just to recreate it myself. When we finally talked a few days later, I told her everything. No excuses, no deflection, just the truth that I was scared, that I saw patterns in myself I didn't want to admit existed, that I needed help, real help, not just promises. And then I told her something I never thought I would say. I told her if she wanted to leave, I wouldn't stop her. She said no. Immediately, she said she wanted to work through it, that she believed in me, that we could fix this together. And part of me felt relief, but another part of me felt something worse, fear, because now it wasn't just about me anymore. Now it was about whether I could actually change before I hurt her in a way that couldn't be undone. Update one, we started couples therapy. I stayed in individual therapy. I cut back on everything that added pressure, work, stress, anything that pushed me closer to that edge. Some days are better, some days aren't. But at least now I don't pretend it's not there. Update 2. I still catch myself sometimes, not yelling, but getting close, feeling that same tension build, the same impulse to react instead of think. And every time it happens, I have to make a choice, not to be perfect, just to be different. Update 3. I don't know how this ends yet. That's the honest answer. But I do know this: wanting to be better isn't enough. You have to catch yourself in the moment you're about to be worse and choose differently. And that's harder than I ever thought it would be because sometimes it doesn't feel like a choice. It feels like a reflex, like something that's already decided before you even realize it's happening. But if I don't fight that, then I already know where it leads. And I'm not willing to let that be my story.